used to try and finish chemistry within the first half an hour.
I divided my paper in like 3 groups.
I dedicated the first hour of the exam to physics,
That gets cleared off in first attempt of mains.
wherein you are not too early or not too late.
Having a meal before the exam or like using the washroom before it starts is like important.
How about timing? Did you do 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour for every paper? You do half an hour, half an hour? What are the general strategies you played with?
Like how much time would you spend for each subject? This chemistry is more of memory, so we try to spend less time on that.
During the mock tests, I would do chemistry for the first 35 to 40 minutes and then physics for the next 1 hour and maths for the rest
1 hour,
of the time.
15 minutes.
Personally, I used to try and finish chemistry within the first half an hour
Half an hour, done.
and physics in the next 45 minutes. Gave
Finish
the
it
time,
quickly.
gave the time to maths instead because maths is generally lengthy.
I divided my paper in like 3 groups of easy, moderate, difficult. 45 questions I used to attend like in one shot. Easy I used to do first. Then I used to gain confidence and then I was like, okay, I'll do the moderate one. Then I used to go to the difficult.
Any other strategies you all used in your exam itself?
So, physics and maths are obviously the more physical demanding subjects of the three. So, what I used to do was I dedicated the first hour of the exam to physics because I felt good doing physics. So
So you felt confident at the end of it, yeah? Felt nice. Okay.
So it drove me during the exam because I was particularly good in physics.
Okay.
I used to do that for 1 hour. And I used to move on to chemistry next for the 30 minutes because it
Finish
felt
it
like a buffer zone where I could relax and I could
then,
prepare myself mentally for math.
Very interesting strategy.
Doing chemistry in the beginning would empty your relaxation period in the exam, and you had to prepare yourself to be more physically
So
restrained because physics and math.
physics and maths is intense mentally. So you said do physics and you enjoyed it, do well, get a josh. Then relax by doing chemistry in half an hour, then go back 1.5 hours and do math again.
Maths.
Very interesting strategies. How about the exam itself, the exam center itself, managing the exam, during the exam, the tension of the exam, the stresses and all? Any tips you have for the children?
That gets cleared off in first attempt of mains.
You know the reality when you go through it, yeah? But any tips that someone would have told you would have worked good for you?
Going early is definitely something everyone should try for. Generally tried 1 hour early. Yes, sir. 1 to 1.5 hours.
In the exam center gate, 1.5 hours early. Okay. How about meditating before the exam, talking to friends before exam, not talking to friends before exam?
I used to listen to music before.
Yeah.
I personally drew caricatures.
Oh, while waiting for that 1 hour inside?
No, like I went 20 minutes earlier on purpose.
Okay.
Like I can't sit for very long without doing anything and then focus after that. So if I have very little time before the exam, then
You can sharp yourself and
Adding to what Varun said, I think that's also a point where you go in later so that you have very little time between the time start of the exam. But the registration process in the exam takes very long. And it's better if you get a seat early than standing in a line for 1 hour straight.
So there is this Goldilocks zone wherein you are not too early or not too late. Because if you are too early, you start getting anxious.
because you have too much time on your hands. And if
See
you're
the
late,
clocks are ticking down in front of the computer. You have 1 hour left. You have 50 minutes left.
time bomb.
And you are starting to doubt yourself. So that happens when you're too
that is it too early. If you're late,
If you're too late, because as he said, there's this biometric verification process going on in the center, and sometimes the server goes down, so which adds to your anxiety.
when you're standing in line waiting to get clear and time is running out, you start getting more anxious. What will happen?
So I used to get to the center 1 hour earlier, and we used to get in 30 minutes earlier. So by the time all the processes are done, I would sit in front of my computer 15 minutes before.
That's sweet. 15 to 30 minutes is ideal. You can then get through. So 1 hour early is a must. If you go 1.5 hour early, half an hour, listen to music, chill, relax, and then 1 hour before, go to the gate so you'll finish the biometric quickly and get inside.
I also think like some small things like having a meal before the exam or like using the washroom before it starts is like important because it's definitely not fun to write an exam on an empty stomach. Nor is it fun to write one with a full bladder.
I agree. Yeah. You may be tense, you may be nervous, but make sure you eat something. Don't go on an empty stomach. Doesn't help.
At least a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit you have to eat.
Don't fall asleep.
Yeah.